Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. I hope all of you will be fine. I, Izhar Ali Bangash, will be discussing with you people this topic. The first part has been discussed with you in practical class. This discussion, it will be a sort of guidance and it shouldn't be considered as a substitute for real practical class. By the end of this guidance, all of us should be able to answer these questions. Number one, describe the printed parameter chart and what is the procedure of parametry by using student parameter. Parametry, it can be defined as a method for accurate charting of peripheral field of vision. We will be needing some instruments for this practical. They are student parameter, parameter chart and test objects. Now first of all, student parameter. Student parameter, it has got various parts. It has a base, a dial with a pointer, metallic arc and chain rest. The real picture showing student parameter base. Now this is the dial with a pointer. The dial, it has got various markings denoting angles of meridians. A metallic arc, the markings here, they are engraved and they are representing the angles between visual axis and test objects. Another view of the parameter showing chin rest. Another view of the parameter showing the central fixation point, which is a mirror where the test eye is fixed. Now this is the parameter chart. The parameter chart, it has got two parts. One part is representing the left eye visual field, the other part it is representing the right eye visual field. In each part there are two types of readings. One type, it is written over the outer margin of the chart. Now these readings, they are representing the angles of meridians and they are marked at the intervals of 15 degrees. For example, this is 0 degree, 15 degree, 30 degree, 45 degree and so on. The second type, it is written in vertical fashion starting from here 10, 20, 30, 40 and so on. Now these readings, they are representing the angles which are formed between the test object and visual axis at various meridians. Each chart, it has got normal markings. Now these markings, they are representing the, for example, this black line, it is representing the normal extensions of visual field for left eye. Another type of marking is here, a small circular dot which is representing the location of physiological blind spot. In each part, the left eye and for right eye separately. Now in each part there are areas which are representing the visual field for the corresponding eye. For example, here the whole area, it is representing the left eye visual field. Now only this quadrant, this one. Now this quadrant, it is representing the superior temporal quadrant for left eye visual field. This is the inferior temporal quadrant for left eye visual field. This is the inferior nasal quadrant for left eye visual field, and this is the superior nasal quadrant for left eye visual field. Similarly, for right eye, this is the superior temporal quadrant for right eye visual field. This is the inferior temporal quadrant for right eye visual field. This is the inferior nasal quadrant for right eye visual field, and this is the superior nasal quadrant for right eye visual field. Test objects. These are the test objects, and they are basically metallic rods with flat heads. Over the flat heads, colored pieces of paper, they are pasted and they are used as test objects in this practical. The principle of perimetry, it is that we will cover the non-test eye and we will fix the test eye on the central fixation point. Then we will select a meridian for the test eye, and we will then move the test object along the metallic arc, and we'll note the point where the test object becomes first visible, and we will then mark the angle which is formed between the test object and the visual axis for a selected meridian on perimeter chart. The first step for conducting perimetry is to take consent. Any consent, it should include the following components. They are greeting to subject, then introduce yourself, then inform the subject about what you are going to do, and finally ask for permission. Now, for example, if I am asked to take consent, it will be like this. अस्सलामु अलैकुम, मेरा नाम इजहार है, मैं आपकी आँखों का मुआयना करूँगा और मेरी कोशिश रहेगी कि तकलीफ़ कम से कम हो, इजाज़त है. In case of foreigner student, he or she can ask the examiner for translation help. The second step is that you will ask the subject to sit on a stool comfortably in such a way that the concavity of metallic arc is facing him, and you will make necessary adjustments with the help of screws which are there in the perimeter. And you will for example, if we are starting with the right eye first, you will ask the subject to close his left eye and place his chin over the left side of chin rest, and the test eye, it should be in line with the central fixation point, and you will ask him to focus the test eye on the central fixation point throughout the procedure. The third step, it will be selection of a meridian for metallic arc. In this guidance, I will start with the right eye first, and then the meridian I will select the one in horizontal position for the temporal half of right eye. Step number 4 is moving of the test object. Now, after selecting a meridian for the metallic arc, which in this case is the horizontal meridian in temporal half for right eye, we will move the test object from periphery towards horizontal, from periphery towards the central fixation point. The test object, it will be moved from this position towards the central fixation point. Now the point where the test object becomes first visible, it will be noted and it will be marked on the parameter chart. Step number 5 is that we will repeat the procedure at 15 degrees interval, and we will cover the whole visual field covering all the 4 quadrants. Now, as shown in the picture, the examiner, he is assessing the visual field in the superior temporal quadrant for right eye. Now in this picture, the examiner is assessing the visual field in the superior nasal quadrant for right eye. Now here there is assessment of visual field of the inferior nasal quadrant for right eye, and here examiner is assessing the inferior temporal quadrant for right eye. Initially we started from this meridian, the one labeled here as 180 degree, and then we moved anti-clockwise. We covered the superior temporal quadrant, then superior nasal quadrant, then inferior nasal quadrant and inferior temporal quadrant. In this way we covered all the 4 quadrants for right eye. Step number 6 is that we will repeat the procedure for test objects of different colors. The subject must correctly identify the color and not just the object movement before taking the reading, and we will randomly mix the colors so that the subject can't memorize any particular sequence. Step number 7 is related to marking of the physiological blind spot. We will select a meridian that will be inclined up to 15 degrees towards inferior temporal quadrant. Now as shown in the picture, you can assess the position of metallic arc. It is slightly inclined towards the inferior temporal quadrant. We will move the test object from periphery towards the central fixation point, and we will note the point where the test object disappears, and then the examiner, he will further move the test object towards the central fixation point and will note the point where the test object reappears. Both these points, they will be then plotted on the chart, and it will be marked somewhere here in between 10 degrees to 20 degrees, which will give a rough estimate of the diameter of physiological blind spot. Step number 8 is that we will repeat the whole procedure for opposite eye, and finally we will thank the subject. The various precautions for perimetry, they are: the subject should be instructed properly, the perimetry chart should be studied thoroughly before starting the procedure, the non-test eye should be closed, the test eye should be fixed on central fixation point, adequate illumination should be provided, and finally, if the subject wears glasses, these should be removed as they may restrict the field. In your practical notebooks, you will write down the details which I have just mentioned, and you will draw the relevant diagrams along with the chart. In OSPE exams, an examiner, he may ask these questions other than those which are related to the procedure. What are the normal extensions of visual field? What is physiological blind spot? What is scotoma? I will answer only the first one. The normal extensions of visual field for white colored object with a size of 5 millimeters. Superiorly, it is extended up to 50 degrees, inferiorly up to 65 degrees. Towards the temporal side, it is extended up to 100 degrees, and on nasal side, it is extended up to 55 to 60 degrees. With this, we come to the end of this guidance. I thank you all.